Mayor Mark Hill, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How many days are we into office now? We're weeks now.
Couple weeks post swearing in, so not too long, just over 2 weeks.
Did your opponent, Rod Bellauer, reach out to you?
He sure did. We spoke the night of the election.
And what was that conversation like?
Very cordial, very respectful both ways. Very direct, but like I said, very cordial. We exchanged pleasantries. I think said just some brief but nice things to one another, and we did talk about trying to connect sometime soon, and so that's probably coming in the future.
That election was very contentious. Your biggest takeaway from that election?
Frisco's valuable. Frisco is important, and Frisco's big and dynamic and diverse, and it probably warrants people having different views, and people handle that differently. And I think that ultimately the election and the campaign itself was long and difficult, but I think ultimately Frisco will be better getting through it and going forward.
What's been the biggest change in your life, the day-to-day, prior to 2 weeks and now as you've been tapped as mayor?
You know, I've always been very positive-minded with respect to Frisco, all things Frisco, whether it was during my time serving on the school board or now as the mayor. I think the biggest difference is now I get to actually act on that. I get to be the voice and the ambassador for a lot of things that I believe to be good in this city. And so honestly, even before I was sworn in a couple weeks back, it was kind of an exciting time for me. And so I'm just trying to get my legs under me and enjoy the process.
How long do you think that'll take?
Oh, it's already happening. I've been running kind of nonstop, meeting not just people within the city, outside the city. It's already well on its way.
How do you prepare for this role when you know you have people who wish to see you fail?
Well, there's always going to be disagreement. And one thing I have said for years as an elected official, which I maintain now as a mayor, is diversity of thought, different ideas, critical thought is really a good thing. You learn from that. You become better from that. And so I welcome it. I do and will maintain focus on things that are important to the city governance-wise, and things that matter to the residents and stakeholders here. But having critical thought and different views is important.
I know you weren't on the dais when all this stuff was happening, but over the last year, 2 years, any plat change, any zoning change that involved a mosque or a Jain temple, Hindu temple, has been met with major scrutiny and criticism. How do you manage some of that outside noise?
Well, from a city council perspective, you try to handle matters that come before us, and I certainly will, in an efficient and transparent way. We are a diverse community. There'll be a lot of different real estate or cultural issues that come before the council during my term. We'll handle them in a respectful way. That's part of my job as the mayor, is to make sure we keep council and we keep focus on things in a thoughtful and respectful way. And I thought meeting one was conducted that way. Doesn't mean everybody agrees on everything all the time, and that's okay. But making sure we make decisions with clear eyes is something that's important to me, and I've seen that. I think it delivers benefits to the community.
When these topics come up, there are people who want to turn this into a circus. Where I'm talking about the social media influencers, people who do not live in Frisco, and some who do live in Frisco. What do you want to tell them who want to just, all their only job is to sort of create havoc?
Goodness, I don't really have much to say to them, to be honest with you. My initial reaction is to focus on how I help the community here and make sure while I'm mayor that the council meetings are a place where residents, business owners here can voice their views on issues that are before the council, that are on the agenda, that are of materiality to them, how we can help improve residents' lives, how we can make smart decisions. And so I will not spend really much, if any, time on those other outside issues.
The public comment rules have changed here in Frisco. What do you tell people who say you're stifling free speech?
The public comment rules here, or the policies here, are something that we're going to continue to look at. My priority will be to make sure that we run efficient and respectful city council meetings and we make good decisions. There will always be an opportunity for comment, discussion, critical nature, for or against, doesn't matter, on issues that are before council. So that will always be the case. Opportunities to have comment on other outside issues, other issues that aren't before council, we will have opportunities for that as well. We will have town halls, we will have other opportunities where residents, stakeholders that have issues that matter to them will absolutely have an opportunity to speak to their elected officials.
The two things that come up very often in our conversations with the public, the media does that too. When we talk to our public about issues that matter to them, it's always traffic congestion and affordability.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do as a cheerleader for the city of Frisco to address both those things?
Those are important issues. You know, we are aware that we are continuing to be a growing community. And so on the traffic front, that's a regional issue that really needs to get tackled with regional solutions. And so the way I've approached that is really before I got elected, and even in the last 2 weeks, I've had meetings already with mayors around us, elected officials around us. I have lunch with the mayor of Plano planned in the next 2 weeks to tackle and to start discussing how we can collaborate and resolve some of these issues. We're a very fortunate community, North Texas, Frisco, some of the surrounding cities, in that people want to come here, businesses want to come here. That creates traffic, and that creates congestion, and that creates a need to make sure we're always working on solutions. And so my commitment on that front is to basically be very forward-thinking on it, work with our partners on it in a collaborative way, work with NTTA and other officials around here as needed, make sure the city's aware of that. That's on the traffic front. The other issue was which one?
The affordability.
Affordability of housing was something I spoke about quite a bit during the campaign, and it's a product of supply and demand. And the council and what we can do to make sure there is a role here in the city for housing that is affordable to different demographics. Middle market was something I think I spoke about before, which I continue to focus on. How do you find affordability for that middle market housing in the city of Frisco and in this area? There is definitely a deficit there. There's definitely a need there. It's something that I think is one of those issues that we should be kind of putting our eyes on whenever we see the next development, whenever we see the next project come before us.
Going back to traffic, is your concern more the major thoroughfares through Frisco or the surface roads, any specific areas that you definitely want to tackle?
It would most certainly be both. There's no doubt that the roads within the city themselves, the factor that comes from that to me is how much commuting do we have going on a daily basis. First of all, we have a large educational and school system in the city. And so schools start here within the next few weeks. And so those school zones will get back to activated and busy. But the more residents that we have and the more businesses we have that are hiring locally, the less commuting we will have in and out of the city. And I've spoken about this before. My experience on the EDC has informed us that we are doing a better job of that. So what I'm essentially, we have, although we are growing as a city, we have fewer people or a fewer percentage of that growth commuting in and out of the city. And so yes, that helps the major thoroughfares, but that also helps the feeder roads that get you to the major thoroughfares. And so being intentional about that, being aware that as we continue to grow, for example, as we bring in the next big development, as we bring in the next business, how much locally are they going to hire? How much is the need to get on those thoroughfares going to be diminished? Being smart about that is what you call disciplined development and disciplined growth, and something that I'm aware of, something that we're going to be working on as we grow.
There's a very small subset of your population that is called Frisco Little India. Do you take umbrage with that term? Have you had a chance to talk with people who live in this community who are Indian American and how they feel about that?
A few different questions there. I speak all the time with Indian residents here in Frisco, or residents of Frisco that are of Indian descent, all the time. I mean, it's a significant part of our community. It's the communities that are in Frisco that are predominantly of Indian descent are safe communities, or educated communities. They contribute greatly to the city of Frisco. And so as we grow, I think we're going to see demographics continue to change. I mean, we have grown rapidly, in many years being the fastest city, the fastest growing city in the United States. And so as we continue to grow, slower. I mean, we are approaching build out as far as residential build out in the city. I think we'll see some of the demographics stabilize, but there's no doubt that this city will continue to be very diverse.
Yeah. Does that moniker bother you at all?
Which moniker?
Where they say this is the new Little India or anything like that?
I don't really pay too much attention to it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say it bothers me. I don't really associate Frisco with any particular ethnic or moniker like that. So I don't particularly have a view on it.
Universal has been in the news. We had a stalled ride a couple of days ago. We had critiques about whether there's enough shade. I know you're not Universal, but you have to stay in contact with them. What conversations have you had with Universal about, because this reflects on Frisco as well?
For sure. You know, I'm a believer that Universal will be a terrific asset to this community. It's just opened. I've already visited it and found it to be a very thoughtful, very attractive, and very engaging place for the younger demographic, not just of this city, but in the surrounding areas. And this community is built on many parents and kids, grade school kids, that I have very little doubt will enjoy Universal Kids Resort very much. I think that's going to be a quality of life benefit to this community, I think to our neighboring cities. There's no doubt that, you know, it's 100 and something degrees today, and so it's hot everywhere. And so, you know, these are things that we just have to be mindful of. There may be some growing pains. I haven't heard about the ride stalling, but I'm sure there's some growing issues with anything. I'm actually quite excited about it. I have a 7-year-old. She found out that I had gone for an initial opening tour and was not too pleased with me, if I'm being honest. But we will definitely be partaking in it in our family. And I suspect, I know in speaking to them, they sold out of annual passes, you know, before they could blink. And so I'm excited about it, very positive on it. I think it's going to ultimately be a benefit to this community. And I'm actually excited to see how they grow in the future.
You think some of those initial concerns will be smoothed out over time?
I do. I do. I think by all indications that I have, Universal is a very good operator and has put a lot of thought into this and knows this community and knows that we have a lot of kids here and a lot of families here with young kids that can benefit from it. And my hope is that that continues and that as it grows in the future, it continues to improve.
Plano just landed the Stars. How does that affect Frisco?
Goodness, there's a traffic and congestion component that's probably coming in the future. I think it benefits the entire area in many ways, not just if you're a Stars fan or a sports fan, but people, myself included, my family included, you live, work, and play in an area, and you want to have as many options in that regard as you can. And Frisco has so many, whether it's minor league baseball, major league soccer, PGA here, to have something like the Stars coming up north, really just south of our border, within a few minutes, literally, of Frisco, I think ultimately it's going to be a good thing.
Nobody knows Frisco ISD probably better than you do on that dais. Can we talk about some of the demographic changes in Frisco ISD and what conversations you can have with the district as it relates to attendance coming down? We have low birth rates. We have a changing demographic. We have an older demographic in Frisco.
Correct.
How do you address some of that?
Frisco ISD is a magnet for this city, and it has been for decades, attracting good families to this city. You are correct, our demographic, our community is aging, and with that, the student population is challenged in different ways, and our growth is also slowing. And so the school districts experience that. I think those challenges are fairly normal. Our job is to make sure the product, or the school districts is to make sure the product being delivered is a quality product. And when you do that, you will continue to have people coming to that school district. And if you know anything about public education in school districts these days, it's a very competitive environment. So you have online programming, you have enrollment outside your borders now becoming more of an option, Frisco ISD included. And because Frisco ISD is so successful, you see a lot of people taking up that option. I saw that as I was ending my term as a trustee and president of the school board, and I hear about it even to this day. And so I think they're going to be a great partner for our city. There's no doubt that as the city continues to age and grow and get older, there will be challenges that the school board and this district will continue to have to take up. But I'm a huge believer that to continue the success of this city, you need to have a strong school system, both at Frisco ISD, in private school, homeschool, higher education. And so I said this before, and I continue to be an advocate. I've already had communications with not just FISD officials and leadership, but with Collin College and UNT on how we collaborate going forward. That is instrumental to Frisco's future success.
Just the last couple more questions here. Some Main Street businesses really struggled over the last 2 years through the construction.
Mm-hmm.
The city has also tried, at least according to the city, their best to help some of those Main Street businesses. How do you restore their confidence that the city does still care about them?
Great question. The Rail District, or the Main Street area of Frisco, is very much an interest of mine in making sure that we create an opportunity there that's unique to this city. We spend so much time talking about the big developments here, the big projects in the city, which are all terrific. But we have a very unique opportunity there with the Rail District. And I think the challenge and not even the challenge, the opportunity that we have in front of us now is how do we activate that? How do we take that to its next level, its next stage? I've already begun speaking with a lot of the merchants and leaders along the Rail District area on what that looks like to them so that we can make an informed decision and start really taking some action soon on making that an environment and part of this city that people really want to go visit. So it's an important thing to me.
Usually I say day one, what's your first priority? But now we're several days into it. You've already had some meetings already in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What is your number one priority to get that you want to get done?
Right now, I am working on building relationships with the existing council members on issues that I know are coming up in the near term: budget, safety, redevelopment on older communities. These are things I see coming up over the next 6 months to a year. I know they're coming up on the agenda. Making sure we have some alignment on council procedures and policy, and honestly, just building relationships with the electeds. I think it's important to make sure that whatever we decide on is healthy. Those are some of the priorities that I have in the near term, and just honestly, getting to know everybody here in city leadership. It's been a privilege. I've said it before. I'm honored and humbled to have this role in such a fantastic city, and so getting my feet under me a little bit and then getting to work is all I'm doing right now.
What's your safe space? Where do you go to get away from some of the noise? Is it like racquetball?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I think by not engaging in some of that, it doesn't bother me. I'm being honest with you. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm aware that there is rhetoric here and rhetoric there on all kinds of issues. But I'm so busy, both with this role, my family, that I focus on what I know to be important to people here. I focus on my family, on people here, and I think that really helps. I don't spend a lot of time on issues that I can't control.
So Mark Hill will not be rattled.
Mark Hill will not be rattled. I think I showed that through the campaign, and I certainly believe the city depends on its leadership to be composed, respectful, and positive. And that motivated me to run in the first place, and I'm not going to change how I conduct myself now.
Yeah.
So I'll continue to be positive and respectful. But like I said earlier, we're in a community that undoubtedly has different views and different opinions. And as much as I believe in being a positive ambassador for this city, I also believe in making sure we're listening to all those different views in this city. Very important.
Yeah. Even the ones that you may not like.
Especially the ones that I may not like. Especially the ones that I may not initially agree with. I consider myself to be a persuadable person. I also consider myself to be a person that is respectful to others and expects people to be respectful to me. And in doing so, we can reach better decisions and build a better community for everybody.
What does the city of Frisco mean to you?
Goodness, that's a big question.
Yeah.
The city of Frisco to me means excellence. It's okay to be exceptional. It's okay to consider yourself to be exceptional. You can be exceptional and respectful of others at the same time. And so Frisco has always been, I moved here 22 years ago, back when it was a fraction of what it is today. And through multiple leaders, through several mayors over the last 25 years, excellent elected officials, excellent city staff, excellent school district, like we talked about earlier, it has become this exceptional place. And so when I think of Frisco, I think both from a place to live, a place to get educated, and a place to work, I think of it as exceptional.
What has your 7-year-old said about their dad, the mayor of Frisco?
She's excited. I think, I think she's, I don't know how much she really grasps all of it. She saw my signs all over the city, or her dad's names on signs all over the city, and I thought that was, something that was kind of fascinating to see from a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But she was at the swearing in and had a great time. I hope she enjoys this process as much as I intend to enjoy it. This city is a fantastic place to live and work and go to school, and I know she enjoys it, and I'm going to enjoy being its mayor.
Thank you, Mayor, for talking with us.
Anytime.